Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So, when it comes to how you move, do you choose to see a doctor or go to the #1 orthopedic specialist in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment? Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. Locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida.
Now at DQ Grill and Chill, enjoy $7 meal deals. The 3-piece chicken strip meal deal and the original cheeseburger meal deal. Both come with fries, a 21-ounce drink, and a sundae. Sweeten the deal and upgrade to a small Blizzard treat for just $2 extra. Get more for less at DQ Grill and Chill with the $7 chicken strip meal deal and $7 original cheeseburger meal deal. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Lithium batteries and products containing them need to be disposed of properly. When a battery enters the waste stream, it becomes damaged and the lithium inside can be exposed to liquids and high temperatures, causing it to become highly flammable. We've seen these fires in recycling and garbage facilities here in Palm Beach County. Don't throw your lithium batteries into the garbage and don't put them in your recycle bins. Do your part and a fire won't start. For proper disposal locations, visit us at swa.org/LIB.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay.
Let's go! Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
As if 2025 wasn't already weird enough, people are lining up to poach the Detroit Lions coaching staff.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's Wednesday, baby. Hump day. Middle of the week. It is just dreary. While my folks back home in Houston, even in North Florida, everywhere, all over the world, they're enjoying a winter wonderland, snow on the ground. Out here in South Florida, typically paradise, it's just sad. Sea Cat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, and what is this, man? I can't get jiggy in this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the worst weather day of the year. Literally. I'm calling it right now, just 3 weeks in today, January 22nd. It's the worst weather day of the year in Palm Beach County. It's
hard to argue against, C-Cat. It's hard to argue against, and I hate to be a guy who opens up show talking about how bad the weather is, especially being here in South Florida, but it just ruins your whole entire mood. I see why people out there in Seattle are always sad. I see why the Pacific Northwest deals with the high levels of depression. This is not good for my health.
No. But we've got a lot of burden on our shoulders right now. We got to make sure we raise the spirits of each and every individual listening and watching. We owe it to the fans.
Let's do that. Generally, C-Cat, you pride yourself on being the guy who walks into a room and humbles all, who walks into a room and makes people feel smaller about themselves. But today you're all about uplifting, and I absolutely love that.
Entertain. I'll dance for you. How about that?
Yeah, just do a little dance.
Hey.
I wonder if that's if there's ever been like a desperate coach. You know how there's like every single coach hiring cycle we have, there's like 20 coaches interviewed for one job. And I know because just based on how life goes and all the different circles I've been in and watching people try to stand out, I know there's had to be at least a few times that a coaching candidate has done something embarrassing to stick out from the rest of the pack. And you know, with as quirky as some of these dudes is, like the hardballs and whatnot, you know somebody probably walked into a room doing a dance.
Yes.
It had to have at least one time.
Just a little bit of like the arm worm.
Yeah, like
one of these.
They're not going to forget this.
How about like Cat Daddy? Just where did that originate? What was the city of the Cat Daddy?
Cat Daddy, I don't know if that was what city was that? It was a Southern dance. It had to be a Southern dance. It wasn't Texas. Texas originated a lot of the dances. Growing up in Houston, Dallas was an originator of a lot of the stuff that we did across the nation as well. Not the Cat Daddy. I'm not sure where that came from. The origins of the Cat Daddy, 888-760-3776. If you know, if you're tapped in with the dance scene, let us know. And which coach would be most likely to walk into an interview and hit the Cat Daddy? To me, anything up that vein, quirky, weird, zany, has to be a hardball.
Yeah.
And it's two of them.
Yeah, there is double the chance
or
by definition. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've seen a coach dance relatively recently, and it's escaping me.
Dabo Swinney, most likely.
Yeah, I could see that. But you got to make yourself stick out in those interviews. Like, it's a job like many others. You got to make sure that the interviewing process, the hiring manager remembers you in particular, where, people forget what you say or what you do, but they never forget the way they made you feel with your sick dance moves.
That would be an automatic disqualification for me.
You just broke it down?
Yeah. In any scenario, in any hiring position that I would be in, if somebody walked in and did a dance to try and stick out, I would just be – because to me now you're overcompensating. And honestly, it feels like right now in the league, if you want to stick out, if you want to be a shoo-in to get a head coaching job, just say you were with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Just align yourself with that pristine franchise, that historically, traditionally great franchise, as we now have not just Ben Johnson being announced and having his head coaching introduction with the Chicago Bears, hopefully creating the next generation of the monsters of the Midway. We also got news literally just as we were about to go on here, like 10 minutes ago, that Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions, is the next head coach for the New York Jets. How many conversations do you think he had with our guy Mike T along the way?
So many.
Yeah. I got to ask, now we have the inside track when we get Mike T back on next week, and we were supposed to have him yesterday in full transparency. He gave us a heads up. He was not able to hop on with us, and that makes a lot of sense because he was less than 24 hours out from helping the Jets to their next leader of their franchise. So now I get that excused absence for Mike T.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if Mike T kind of found the candidates and then the Jets hired the candidates.
Yeah, that's the process for sure. But I think because he was part of the search for him, right, with the 33rd team, his organization. But if you had to use your secondary level of your brain, you don't think Woody Johnson, who also used to employ Mike Tannenbaum as a general manager, who also used to work lockstep with him to actually hire head coaches with the Jets, you don't think that he was also consulting him throughout the process? Like, I'm sure they had conversations this morning before that rollout happened.
Yeah, Mike T probably said, listen, these are the options. I strongly recommend to go with Aaron Glenn. He is the best of the remaining bunch. Or he probably said the best of the bunch in general, because you don't want to admit that you got sniped from somebody else.
I will say this, though. You know who, as the Jets fans are celebrating because they get their newly minted defensive-minded first-time head coach in Aaron Glenn, who feels like he's wholly competent. He feels like he can set a culture there that can be counter to what they've had the past decade or so. As Jets fans rejoice and as Lions fans weep because they lose their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator, there's one man nobody's thinking about right now, but I want to just give him some solace and some peace. Rex Ryan, I know you thought you had the job in the bag. Rex, I know that you sit up on that first takes desk and whatever NFL Live desk, and you rub shoulders with my guy Mike T, and literally, Mike Greenberg, who technically the other Mike Greenberg was the GM, for the Jets. But the Mike Greenberg on ESPN is a Jets fan, and he was rooting for you to get that job as well on the get-up desk. I feel for you today because if there was one person, like out of all of these coaches who just, had an opportunity, was interviewing and everything, if there was one person that felt more confident in their ability to get a job than Rex Ryan with the Jets, show me that guy.
Because there's one thing about not getting a job you think you were qualified for, and you think you were the right choice and the leader in the clubhouse. It's one thing to not get that job. It's another thing to publicly campaign on national television week in and week out, not only on the show that you are paid by, but to go on other podcasts and other radio shows and other shows in general to do the very same thing. It's a tough day to be Rex Ryan.
He, for the past 2 months, he was speaking it into, how they say manifest your dreams and stuff. He was speaking it into existence. When he would talk about the Jets job, he would, talk about other candidates and say, yeah, they would be solid, but I hope they don't want it because I'm going to be in there.
Yes,
he would talk about how the Jets would operate under his leadership. I honestly, and also C-Cat, I thought Rex Ryan had been washed his hands of wanting to be a head coach in the NFL. It's been a while.
Yeah, we think these media jobs are nice and cushy, and once you get one, why would you release it? I guess not. He's got the competitive fire, and as you said, the several different ways he expressed his direct interest in the job, he's like,
he put himself out there.
That's not happening when I get in the job.
Yeah.
The phrases like that, talking about Aaron Rodgers, talking about the just kind of confusion and the conundrums that they would find themselves in the New York organization right now. He said he would put a stop to that right then and there.
His last job was with the Bills, 2016. I forgot about that Bills year. That was a Rex Ryan lost tape year there. And
that was a head coaching job?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He was the head coach for the Bills. I remember the pictures of him in the Bills
I was thinking of some sort of coordinator.
No, yes, exactly. That's how long it's been, and that's how, irrelevant they were at his time with the Bills, and it was a short stint, 2015 to 2016, and he was gone. He's been out of work for about a decade now, and he wanted to come back.
So is it too late? I don't want to,
it's too late,
be ageist. I don't want to. Is this a midlife crisis for Rex Ryan? You want to get his swagger back and get this coaching job?
I don't know because – so I don't know enough about Rex Ryan personally, right, to feel whether or not he's doing a midlife crisis thing. Here's what I do know about him. He did get a whole new set of veneers, right? You see the teeth.
My shining teeth and me.
Them things are shining. Them things are bright. Every time he even, opens his mouth to utter a word about how he was going to be the next coach of the Jets, it was hard not to be distracted by that. I know he's a football guy. He is a football guy through and through.
He's a foot guy, too.
He's a foot man. He loves him some feet.
Open and honest.
He is a self-proclaimed footman who also loves football. So I can see himself still being married to the game. I think he's, 62 years old. The problem for him is I think he saw the Jets job as his last possible route back into head coaching. If not this, nowhere else. Think about it. He was never even considered anywhere else in the league. The Jets thing was only open for him because, number one, this guy Mike Tannenbaum was on the search for him. That was the one place he actually had a lot of success at.
I've got an in.
Yeah.
Too.
He's good with Woody Johnson and whatnot, so it made a lot of sense. But yeah, again, I'm not hating on the man.
Oh, man.
I'm not. Rex Ryan, it's all love. Now, what I will say is this, Rex. Maybe he should have took some time off the NFL Live desk, off the Get Up desk and whatnot, because as he was campaigning actively for these jobs, he's had some of the absolute worst takes on those desks for the past few months. It has been inextricably weird. It's hard for me to untie that from who he could be as a head coach. And honestly, I'm serious. I can't remember the ones in particular, but there was one take he had that had me actually questioning, do I know more ball than Rex Ryan? Which I should never think that, C-Cat.
Yeah, he's done the job for many years. I do think that's
a little dated. That's the problem. It's not that he doesn't have the knowledge. I think he's just a little dated.
Rapidly evolving game. Maybe taking a couple years becoming an analyst for a team would have him on a better track. It's almost like you get your graduate degree and you get reinvigorated into the game of football. You get taken more seriously rather than just the entertainment talking head on your TV sets. However, Lou Riddick, he got all of that buzz, all that attention. He's getting wanted in front offices, and he's just a talking head right now.
He has good takes. Like, it's because when you hear Lou Riddick talk about football, you're like, okay, this, even if you don't agree with Lou, a lot of times there's a lot of fact, knowledge, and basis behind what he says that makes you say, okay, well, this guy knows what he's talking about.
So you think that if we spit one or two good takes, like we might be on someone's list for a head coaching job?
What do you mean? We literally have a guy that comes on this show weekly that ushers head coaching and general manager jobs into the Jets room. If we impress Mike Tannenbaum strong enough one of these weeks, and I'm not saying it's got to be this year. I'm talking long game. I'm talking 2-3 years from now. Just week after week, we give this guy the goods. We save our good stuff for Tuesdays with Mike Tannenbaum, and hell yeah, we could be considered.
And you know what? I don't want to limit us to just the Jets, and you see the weather across the country right now. Today's a pretty bad day for South Florida, but hey, he's got someone's ear in Miami. Mike McDaniel's had a couple of questionable decisions the past couple of years. Maybe you'll have Theo Dorsey, head coach of the Miami Dolphins, come 2029.
It would have to be 29 for me, only because I got to wait out that Tua contract.
Okay, you want to start fresh?
I would have to start fresh. I want to bring my guys in. I need my guys in there. Not that Tua can't be one of my guys, but I can't be tied to a contract that I wasn't in on when making that deal. It just feels like the ceiling in the AFC East under that Tua contract based on what he's able to do on the football field. I just can't get with it. So
can I be a positions coach on your staff? I don't want a coordinator job. I want a positions coach.
It's tough, man. I already got in mind a few people. I got my guy Pierre Garçon. He's going to be the wide receivers coach. That's lined up. That's locked in.
Okay.
John Bostic over there, Wellington Sports Academy. Of course, he's going to be the defensive coordinator.
All right.
I'm not relegating this guy to a positions coach. He's got the football mind up there. What would you say? Are you your favorite team is the Ravens? John Harbaugh, special teams guy.
Mm-hmm.
You could be the long snapper coach.
Just long snapper coach, not
the
special teams coordinator?
Well,
what about time management guy? I'm behind you. I'm your shadow, essentially.
We're always late on this show. We are always late on this show, and you are the time management guy for theoretically speaking. Listen, so you failed at that.
I would be perfect at utilizing our timeouts. We quite literally do it on the show because we have 3 breaks an hour. That'd be 3 timeouts a half in a football game.
Okay.
But you know what? Given the opportunity, I think I could surprise.
You got to show me something these next couple of weeks at least, man. Like when the happy hour starts at 3, we need to be starting the happy hour with Tina. We can't be starting it at 3:05 because what if I need a timeout in a timely fashion, 2-minute warning, the clock is ticking down, I'm looking at you, and you're twiddling your fingers on your phone.
That's true. I am kind of addicted to like Twitter and stuff. I might be scrolling the feed. I mean, a packed 1 o'clock slate. You want me to not pay attention to someone out on the West Coast? Like, come on now.
Like, are you kidding me? Josh Allen has the ball right now.
Right.
Josh Allen's supposed to push it down the field. We got to talk about what's happening right here with the Lions coaching staff. 2 coordinators departing from Detroit, Aaron Glenn to the New York Jets, and Ben Johnson to the Chicago Bears. That's a little bit of brain drain from the Lions, number one. But I do believe in year one with each of these teams, for both of these former coordinators, Ben Johnson, who gets Caleb Williams, Aaron Glenn, who hopefully doesn't have to inherit Aaron Rodgers, both of them are actually going into situations that are kind of like similarly set up for their strengths, right? If you think about it, the Jets have a really strong defensive core, young guys at each level who you can feel like you can invest in and they can be good. Sauce Gardner on the back end, our guy Jamien Sherwood, who was the MVP of the Jets, the team MVP for the Jets from this area, Jensen Beach, a great linebacker there, and up front, Quinnen Williams. Aaron Glenn can do something and make a defense out of those pieces. He can turn the Jets into a winner very early on. How many wins did the Jets have this past season, CCAT?
7 or 6.
I thought it was 5.
It might be 5.
Did they rack up some at the end? Let's look. Can you look that up right quick? Because I do know on the other side, the Chicago Bears were a 5-win team, and they obviously on the offensive end have the quote-unquote generational product in Caleb Williams. They have Rome Odunze, who they drafted in the first round this past year to go along with DJ Moore, who they just extended, DeAndre Swift. They have an offense that is ready-made with some firepower that a mind like his should be able to squeeze some points out of. Both of them going into situations where their side of the ball, their expertise, good and young. How many wins for the Jets?
Only 5.
5, yeah. So both teams are 5-win squads. Both are getting a former Lions coordinator, and both of those coordinators are walking into their first head coaching job. So I ask you, which one of these guys is going to have the best turnaround in year one? Which one of these guys is set up perfectly to be able to actually rack up more wins. And that's the way we'll judge it, right? I'm not going to judge it by EPA per play. I'm not going to judge it by getting the most out of your quarterback. Which of these teams is set up best for 2025 to win more football games, both coming off of 5-win seasons, both firing their coach mid-year, and both making their hires from the Detroit Lions coaching staff? 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, baby. Pull up the Theoretically Speaking. Which team are you more confident in going into next year with their new leader, Ben Johnson with the Chicago Bears, or our guy Aaron Glenn with the New York Jets? 888-760-3776. That is the Baptist Health Hotline. That's how you can tap in. It is a dreary day out here in Palm Beach County. How about you brighten it up for us on the Baptist Health Hotline?
Join us. Spend it with us. Open invitation. Anybody.
Yeah. 888-760-3776. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. The Bears or the Jets, Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn, who you got with turning things around quicker with their franchise? So much of this always is contingent on the leadership that you're walking in with. So much of it is also contingent on the roster. I would argue both of these teams are on an equal playing field when it comes to talent currently on the roster, as well as the salary cap space and the maneuverability going forward. The one question mark for the Jets, what's happening at quarterback? I would hope, for Aaron Glenn's sake, Rodgers is gone. I would hope he either retires, they find out some kind of mutual way to get him out of there, go to a team that he maybe wants to go to. Maybe it's the Raiders. I don't know. I don't have no clue what the guy. He's an enigma, right? But Aaron Glenn, a lot of what's going to be dictated with the Jets is going to be what he has at quarterback. Ben Johnson knows what he has at quarterback. A lot of that is going to be mostly dictated on what can he squeeze out of him. The Jets are in an easier division. The Bears are in maybe the best division in the NFL this year, exclusively when you talk about the fact that three teams had 14, the Packers had 11 wins, 12 wins this year?
Yeah, around that.
And then two teams with 14 wins in the Bears, the Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. The NFC North separated itself as the best division in football, and the Bears were in the cellar of that, so there's a bigger hill to climb there. But if you ask Ben Johnson, who spoke today in front of media, and by the way, as much as we are excited about what he can do as an offensive play caller and a schematics guy and all of that, personality matters, leadership styles matter. Take a listen to Ben Johnson trying to talk a little smack in the division right here, and you tell me if this moves the needle for you.
I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league. Having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about two guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Dead silence.
I left in the silence for a reason.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. That was bad. That was not good. And you could tell if you watch the video of that, that's Ben Johnson again, former Lions offensive coordinator, newly minted Chicago Bears head coach. If you watch the video, you can see the awkwardness in his face as he's like trying to set up this punchline.
He knows it's coming.
Yeah. And the tough part is we all watching him know it's coming as well. So now because you're doing this and there's no element of surprise here, we're like, okay, what's the punchline about to be? He's obviously smirking right now as he's gearing this thing up, and that was it. So
what I would say about Ben Johnson is I feel like a baseball hat shaves off 15 years of your life. Because on the sideline, I thought he was like a young, up-and-coming kid. No. And then he takes the hat off. He's doing a press conference all official-like, and he looks a lot older.
Well, I mean, that's hairline stuff. You know, that's like,
okay.
Yeah, like the thinning hair. Like,
fair enough.
The hat is going to help that for sure.
He's got a pretty young face. You can see on the Prize Picks YouTube stream. Like, he kind of looks like he could be a grad student right now.
Yeah, he does have a super duper young face. Looks energetic. Looks like he's got decades upon decades to lead that franchise into the promised land. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he takes that hat off. It's a totally different story.
But you know what?
Be a hat guy.
If you're a Lions part of their organization, you've had a long time as a little brother, as a less than to the Packers. This year, it was different, and he let him know about it. Even though he's in the same division with a different team, everybody's sick of the Packers because they've been under the Packers' thumb for a long time now.
They have been.
They, as in all three teams in that division that are not the Packers.
And I will say this, too. If you're Ben Johnson going in, because this is the job he wanted. Like, he wanted that job. That job wanted him. The city of Chicago wanted Ben Johnson. Did you hear the story about them actually – like, not just fans cheering for it and whatnot, but apparently a couple of nights ago, the CEO of the Bears, Kevin Warren, was at a bar, and a guy bought him a drink from across the bar, which, by the way, we got to do that more as fellas.
Oh, just buying a guy a drink?
Just buy a dude a drink across the bar.
That feels like you are indicating.
No, it's not.
Yes, you are.
And that's the problem. See, you act like I have the toxic masculinity. There's something wrong with you.
No, that's just an unspoken thing. No, it's not that. It's what you mean. It's what is understood. And that's going to be understood.
If a guy buys me a drink at the bar, he's indicating?
Yes. Yes.
And by indicating, I'm guessing you mean he's attracted to me.
Yes. You don't want to get mixed signals. We want to be on the same page here. That's why I buy nachos for us.
Here's what I say. If a guy buys you a drink from across the bar, and when you look over and the guy's like, yeah, he bought you that drink, and the guy's like, double fist pound to the heart. Boom, boom. Two of them. You hear that? Two of those and a point. That's still indicating? That's not indicating.
The only acceptable way is if you're wearing sports paraphernalia
That's what I was about to say.
that matches up.
Well, you didn't let me finish. There has to be some kind of commonality to it, right? You have to. It will be super weird if it's just a random dude and there's nothing there and you just send him a drink. Yeah, I didn't mean that. And for this guy, it was a sports connection because a guy bought the CEO, Kevin Warren of the Bears, a drink. He knew that he was a Bears fan.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
But you didn't start with that.
So
I feel like once I pressed you on it, you eventually compromised down to.
That was the thing, the original thing. It wasn't like a random dude just bought Kevin Warren a drink and then found out later he was Kevin Warren.
But then you said we as guys should all be buying each other drinks.
But again, there has to be there has to be a connection there. If I see you with some Chiefs gear on and I'm at the bar and I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm like, yo, I see my dog got the Chiefs gear on. Maybe we're out of town. Maybe we're in Pennsylvania. I see Chiefs gear in the bar in Pennsylvania. I'm like, you know what? Not a lot of Chiefs fan out here. I'm going to shoot my dog a drink, clock it. Not an expensive drink. I think that's another thing, too. If you buy me like an expensive or a dainty drink, that's more indicating. If it's like a nice, like a rum and Coke, come on.
What if he hates rum and he's like on a diet so he can't have Coke?
If he's at the bar drinking, no guy's going to turn down a rum and Coke. Whiskey Coke.
What you say is, I'll have his next drink. Or like, I've got his next one. So you just order his next drink for him.
Huh. I guess that would work too.
You don't force your taste upon him.
That's too thoughtful, though. That's too thoughtful. No, you force your taste upon him. You force your taste on him. I'm the one buying you the drink. Here you go. Whiskey Coke. On the house. On me, really. Not the house. On your boy. And I go two fist pounds to the chest and a point.
But I'm finding myself on the receiving end of that situation. And, okay, rum and Coke I can live with. But I can't drink beer. I just never have, never been able to, won't be able to stomach it. It makes me just convulse in a bad way. I hate it. So if someone bought me a drink that it happens to be beer, and I'm like, thanks. And then like, I just pour it in like the well. Like I can't. It's going to waste.
My first ever time drinking beer was against my will. I was in D.C. interning at the Washington Times. I was actually underage. I was 20. And the Airbnb, it wasn't even an Airbnb. I was staying at a house I found in Craigslist in Bethesda, Maryland. And one of the other guys staying in one of the rooms on this Craigslist house, it was a very awkward scenario, a very weird living situation, but I got through. Great summer. One of the guys there was this like older Italian dude, like in his late 20s. He's like, yo, man, you got to go to the bar with me, man. Was that a good Italian?
Yeah, very good.
There we go. I was working on that.
You're on the cast of Grease right now.
Yeah, you got to go to the bar with me, man. Come on, pick up your stuff, go to the bar. He was very forceful in asking me to go to the bar, and I was like, heck, I don't care. Let's go. Went out to the bar like somewhere on U Street in D.C., and we were at, matter of fact, it was like the Ben's next door or something like that, a very famous bar on U Street. And we're sitting there, and I can't order any drinks because I'm underage, so I don't order a drink at the bar. I'm just chilling with him. I get like some fries or something like that. And then he orders himself a Blue Moon. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's what's up. It came with like an orange in it. And I thought that was so dope. I was like, oh, it came with an orange in it. That's what's up. He said, oh, you like that, man? Here, I'll get you a Blue Moon as well. Goes to the bar, gets me a Blue Moon, puts it on the table. And I was like, bro, first of all, I don't drink, and I definitely don't drink Blue Moons. I don't drink beers like that. He was like, I bought you the drink, man. You're going to drink it. And it was just like really like, and I'm like sitting there like, I want to be polite. I don't know am I going to have to fight this dude? I don't know him. I live with him now for the rest of the summer. Do I drink the beer? Do I sit here and stare down with him? What do I do?
And what'd you do?
I drank the beer. I drank the beer. It was and I hated it. I did not like the beer at that point, but I drank the beer. I didn't want any problems.
That feels like whenever in college or whatever, any drinking game, like most are just beer. Like beer pong, rage cage, flip cup, it also is almost always beer. And like, I'm not as forceful enough with what I want. You know, I kind of just get bullied into submission in terms of my drinking habits. So I will just like, okay, I guess I'm going to have to fight this one down. So every drinking game is life or death. Yeah, for most of college.
But now you're at least at a point where you're like, I'm not touching that beer. Because you know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
See, I didn't have it wasn't also, to me, it was a preference. I didn't want to drink the beer.
I think I'm allergic or something. Because like, it's
it has
not.
To be. Like the grains, maybe.
Yeah. I just automatically, my body rejects it, hates it.
I didn't know you could be allergic to beer. You're the only person I've ever known. Matter of fact, when you told me that at a bar one time, I thought you were lying. But you're allergic to beers, probably.
You know what? I'm going to take that and run with it.
You're an anomaly.
I'm going to establish that right now. It's almost like a peanut allergy, so you can't be in the room with me.
You can't. Don't even drink a beer near CK.
No.
I know who would never drink a beer near you, our guy Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. He joins us on the other side. That's because he doesn't drink alcohol at all. Evan Cohen pulling up on us, and he's going to talk some Miami Heat. What happened with Jimmy Butler lately, it's not something he did. It's something another team did that is kind of, to me, it makes me feel like Jimmy is a lock to go to a certain destination based on a move I saw last night in the NBA. So we got Evan Cohen on the other side, plus a get around, and we continue to ask the question, who's going to do better in their first year, Ben Johnson with the Bears or Aaron Glenn with the Jets? That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Now at DQ Grill and Chill, enjoy $7 meal deals. The 3-piece chicken strip meal deal and the original cheeseburger meal deal. Both come with fries, a 21-ounce drink, and a sundae. Sweeten the deal and upgrade to a small Blizzard treat for just $2 extra. Get more for less at DQ Grill and Chill with the $7 chicken strip meal deal and $7 original cheeseburger meal deal. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. Thursday, the Miami Heat are heading north to Milwaukee, and I see the temperature is expected to rise all the way up to 15 degrees. The Heat come into town, and it's warmer already. You're welcome, Milwaukee. It's the Heat and the Bucks. We go live at 7 here on ESPN 106.3.
Hey everyone, it's Cade Shumsland. Every week, Land Rover Palm Beach supports local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community by naming a Player of the Week. This year, $35,000 will be rewarded to student athletes and their schools. Tune in to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day every Friday night as I unveil this week's featured athlete. If you have a great performance that I need to know about, DM us at ESPN West Palm, Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
God knows. I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need all my babies.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Mike Vrabel gets Drake May. Ben Johnson gets Caleb Williams. Aaron Glenn? Sorry about that, brother. Sorry. Can't do much for you. Can't do much for you. 4 more coach openings left. The Raiders, the Jags, the Saints, and the Cowboys. We have the new head coaches for the Bears, the Jets, and the New England Patriots. Speaking of the Pats, renowned fan of the Patriots and Patriot Way is our guy, Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, who you hear on Unsportsmanlike 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 106.3 with Michelle Smallman and Chris Canty. He pulls up right now, and as you see the other coach hiring happen, how much more favorable do you look at the Vrabel hiring to the Patriots, Evan?
Well, you know what's interesting, Theo, about this? As you're setting this up, I can easily make the argument that these teams that have made their hires each got their first choice, and it's not a spin. There's zero doubt the Patriots' first choice was Mike Vrabel.
Oh, yeah.
I think we all can agree with that. There's zero doubt that the Bears' first choice was Ben Johnson. Right? We're agreeing on that?
Yeah,
the
for sure.
Coordinator for the Lions?
For the second straight year, both of those teams, those were their first choice last year and this year, ironically. But yes, keep going.
Right, that's fair. Okay. I also think there's zero doubt Aaron Glenn was the Jets' first choice.
What makes you think that,
Mike
though?
Tannenbaum, why do I think that?
Yeah.
Or easily. He was, first of all, Aaron Glenn was a player for the Jets, as everybody knows. From 94 is when he was drafted. He was there, I believe, from 94 to 01. During that time, who was one of the executives for part of that under Bill Parcells? Mike Tannenbaum. Okay? He comes back in 2012, 2013 with the Jets as a scout. Who was there till 2012 with the Jets? Mike Tannenbaum. What other teams did Mike Tannenbaum work for in his career? Of note, Saints and Browns. What other teams did Aaron Glenn play for or coach for? Saints and Browns.
Wow.
What did Mike Tannenbaum do that he said he was going to do prior to this search? With any search he said he would do? Interview as many people to get as many connections and consume as much information as possible. Much of this was done on Palm Beach Island with some of the in-person interviews. And the moment – so he went through all these interviews. And the moment the Lions were eliminated over the weekend, Aaron Glenn is locked up by Wednesday of that week. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. Aaron Glenn was their first choice. Oh, and by the way, how many times has Mike Tannenbaum ripped or been critical of? And for those who don't know, he's leading the search or led the search with the Jets with Woody Johnson, Palm Beach County resident, and Mike Tannenbaum, Palm Beach County resident, as the people leading it. How many times has Tannenbaum been critical on your show, on our show, anywhere, of the GM and the head coach not being aligned? What is he doing? He is Aaron Glenn and another guy interviewing who is a potential GM, who was a longtime Detroit Lions assistant GM up until this year where he went to the Commanders. Who does he know? Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
Literally everything points in the direction of the New York Jets definitively got the guy they wanted. Oh, and by the way, who's the coach that Mike Tannenbaum is most proud of in the NFL? Dan Campbell. Why? He hired him when he was with the Dolphins, and he named him the interim head coach. Right?
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a Mike T decision. That's what's up. Hey, you're connecting the dots
So
here.
Mike T helped bring in Dan Campbell, And where did Dan Campbell go after the Dolphins? He went to the Saints to work for who? Sean Payton. Who was Sean Payton's mentor? Bill Parcells. Every indication it's so uncomfortable to think about because of the franchise. Every indication is the Jets had a plan, had a thorough plan, and got the guy they wanted, likely aligned with someone he knows as the GM. This all feels weird because it's the Jets, and they actually may have done this right, Theo.
That is, you tied a lot of loose ends there for me. You connected a lot of dots. You should do this for a living, Evan. Has anybody ever told you that?
You don't say.
It's really good. It's really
no,
good.
Actually, that's the problem. People say I should stop doing this for a living more than I should do it for a living.
Yeah, well, you know, if you ain't got no haters like Robert Saleh says, you ain't popping. So you know how that goes. Evan, I want to talk some NFL with you. We'll get back to the NFL, but I want to get your what you feel you took from what the Phoenix Suns did in the NBA, swapping one first-round pick in 2031 for 3 first-round picks out of the Utah Jazz. Obviously, Jimmy Butler has said, I want to be in Phoenix. He's multiple times through his agency and everything said that is one of his likely destinations, and now they just retooled as we inch closer and closer to the NBA trade deadline. Do you feel like it's a lock like I do that Jimmy's going to end up there before January 6th or February 6th?
Yeah. Let's focus on
February. Sorry about that. That was a different,
anyway,
a different fiasco. Just keep going, Evan. Act like I didn't do it. Been a lot of news.
What are you talking
Been a
about?
lot of news I've been watching. Just keep going.
Oh my God, that's Theo Dorsey speaking.
Yeah.
I work for Disney.
Yeah.
So, and I know who ultimately employs the content people at Good Karma where you work, and you're going to be okay.
Yes. Okay.
Anyway, so let's talk about this for a second. There are a lot of rules and regulations around how trades can be done. Under no circumstance would I expect anyone around Palm Beach County, the Treasure Coast, to know all the rules and regulations, okay? So let's try our best to simplify it as best as we can because it's not easy. What the Phoenix Suns did yesterday was give themselves more ammo to make a Jimmy Butler trade, which can really only happen by way of trading one person. University of Florida standout Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is someone that, by all accounts, the Miami Heat don't want. Not because he's not good at basketball, but because he makes a lot of money and he has a no trade clause. So they need another team basically to take Bradley Beal on. The same thing applies to other teams. He makes a lot of money and he has a no trade clause. But there are some teams where they could be in the gray area as to, do we want him, do we not want him? For example, like the Milwaukee Bucks, that may say, okay, well, we'll take him because he actually could help our team, but we're not sure what's going to happen later, so you need to compensate us to do that. So what the Phoenix Suns did yesterday was get themselves ammo to say to Milwaukee, are you interested in being a team in this deal where you could take Bradley Beal to free up a spot for Jimmy Butler? We'll give you a first, maybe 2 firsts in order to do this. That's why what happened yesterday was really important. There is nobody that is paying it, but losers like myself, that would pay attention to a draft trade between the Suns and the Jazz. It's completely irrelevant to most. But it is more likely than not that if Jimmy Butler is traded by February 6th, what happened yesterday will ultimately be the catalyst for that to go down.
Yeah. I think it's clearly the first step in that direction. And even if they don't make the trade by the trade deadline, I think this offseason, after Jimmy opts into his contract, it still opens up that window for them. So they still have the leverage to play with that. I'm curious, what is it that Miami actually wants in return? Like, it doesn't feel like it'll be just a bunch of –
I can answer that.
Yeah, what do you got?
That. Okay, so they don't want contracts beyond 2026. So meaning 1 or 2 year deals max. Right. They don't want money that they can't get off of. And now they don't want stuff that will disrupt what this team is, which is Khalil Ware at the 5, Bam at the 4, Tyler at one of the guards, and then the rest to kind of TBD, right? I mean, in terms of Jovic, Jaquez, Duncan Robinson, there's certainly something like that. They also, Mike, this is a guess, they also would be interested, I have to guess, in someone taking Terry Rozier in as part of this trade. That's going to be difficult because that's a $20+ million salary. Mm-hmm. What I think, and I have a new way of looking at this, my favorite non-title team, and maybe my favorite team in Heat history, is the 2003-2004 Miami Heat with Dwayne Wade's rookie year. Okay? And that was also Udonis Haslem's rookie year. It was my rookie year living in South Florida,
I was about to say.
ironically enough.
I knew you were going to tie yourself to that.
So of course I am. But what they had was a collection of young players that didn't exactly fit perfectly positionally, but they went 42-40. They went to the second round in the playoffs, and they lost, I believe, in 6 games. And you just could feel something brewing. You knew they weren't going to win a championship. And the goal wasn't even to win a championship. It was to see how good these young guys could be. So on that team, Theo, because you're so young, this is before your time even, right? I know you were alive, obviously. But it's not like you were.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying you weren't following like you are right now.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That team had Dwayne Wade, had Caron Butler, had Lamar Odom, had Brian Grant, had Udonis Haslem, had Eddie Jones. They had a bunch of really good. Malik Allen, a current assistant coach, I think may have been on that team, or maybe a couple years. I'm not sure. But anyway, the point that I'm making, that was just like a bunch of young, fun, happy-go-lucky guys who didn't know any better. Caron's second year, Wade's first year, Udonis' first year. That's kind of what this team is. The focus has to reset. It can't be we have to stop looking at this team as a championship team, not like they were going to be that anyway.
Far from it.
So I don't know that I don't know that the goal should be to get championship players today back. But, like, for example, there's a guy in the Suns by the name of Ryan Dunn. He's a rookie out of Virginia. I want him. I don't know what he's going to be. You don't know what he's going to be. But, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what I now want.
And you're right, though.
And so if they get – go ahead.
I was just saying, you're just right that the Heat have the perfect ecosystem right now for a retooling type of year where you can get the most out of those parts with a guy like Eric Spoelstra and you can find out what these young guys are. I just wonder – I feel like it's almost like even as a Heat fan, we've been beaten into submission of, okay, I'm cool with not being a fake championship contender. I'd rather go into one of those years like that and bounce back out of it stronger. So I agree with you on that. I just don't know if Pat Riley is down with that. Like, that's the one thing standing in the way of the Heat making a move like that.
All right, so good. I'm glad you said that. So why I was very specific about 03-04. Because you know what happened in the summer of 04 is that Shaq decided he can't play with Kobe anymore.
Yeah.
And Shaq looked at this young shooting guard in Miami who played 1 year and was like, I want to play with that guy. His name was Dwayne Wade. And then what they did was they took Lamar Odom, Brian Grant, and Caron Butler, 3 young players, and you're like, I wonder what these guys could be. And they traded all 3 of them for Shaq without having to give up the one guy, which is obviously Wade. I'm not suggesting I'm shipping these guys out. What I am suggesting, for all of these years, the Heat never seemingly had enough to get that superstar. Pick the 1 or 2 you want to keep, because I can give you 3 more that another team would want. Because you're going to tell me I got to keep Bam, and then who's your second one you got to keep? Just for argument's sake, go ahead. Who's the second one you got to keep moving forward?
Khalil Ware.
Okay. So what does a Jovic-Jaquez hero trade look like today?
That looks good.
Versus what it looked like a year ago, right? Or what is a Jovic, and I'm not trying to trade these guys.
Right.
This is just a hypothetical I'm bringing up, right? What is a Jovic-Jaquez hero, Pelle Larsson, 2 to 3 additional first-round pick trade look like? Let's just say you go with old reliable. Let's say the 2 you want to keep are Bam and Hero. And Hero's been the best player on this team this year by a lot.
Yes.
Right? What does a Ware Jovic-Jaquez trade get you? Because that's an entire starting front line for a team.
I think that all of those deals feel.
You get what I'm saying on this? Like, that's where it's got to go.
And that's why I guess getting back in this trade, what you're going to look for then is future first rounders. What you're going to look for are other young players that you can showcase. I still go back to this. Is Pat Riley had the appetite for that in 03-04? Does he have the appetite for that in 2024 or 2025?
Okay, another good one. All right. So that's the 03-04 model. Under the same premise with all those guys, what's winning today in the NBA? The Boston Celtics have about 7 guys that are plus players, meaning better than average. In some cases, a lot better than average, on offense and defense. They have no player of their main core that you would say that dude can't play offense or that dude can't play defense.
Yeah.
What's the Oklahoma City Thunder? Same thing, right?
Yeah.
All these players that are plus players on offense and defense. The Cleveland Cavaliers this year. Okay. So let's now look at right. Well, okay, but let's look at Ware, good on offense and defense. Bam, despite our frustrations with him on offense, good on offense and defense. Jaquez, when he's right, good on offense and defense. Jovic, definitely good on offense. They'll make him good enough on defense.
Yep.
When was the last time we talked about a team targeting Tyler because he can't play defense? It's been a while.
They haven't said that. Now, I do wonder if there's going to be more issues or concerns with that in a playoff setting again, because it's different in the regular season.
All right. Well, we're not even there yet.
Okay.
But we're not even there yet, right? Right? Pelle Larson, young player.
Yep.
Definitely good on offense and good on defense when he plays. Short spurts. Most people don't even know who he is yet. My point is, pick your lane as to how you want to go. I am way more positive, and it's really because of Ware, about this team than I was a week ago, because now Spo is finally doing what we've all asked him to do, which is scrap small ball, go big, lean into Bam. I said it on your show. Lean into Bam as a wing, not LeBron, obviously. Nobody is. But lean into him playing the LeBron role, a facilitator and like mid-range guy, and see what happens.
Yeah.
And they're starting to do it, and last night was a disaster because Tyler wasn't there against Portland. But, like, there's the makings of, like, this team's going to be more fun to watch than last year or the beginning part of this year.
Yeah. And Khalil Ware, 25 points, 20 points, last two outings, 15 boards. Like, he's been really, really good. People have been sleeping on that storyline.
He's must watch.
But let's bounce off of basketball, get right back to the NFL. We're down to the Final Four. What surprised you the most out of the divisional round weekend? For me, the surprise was, Jaden Daniels is actually doing this? Like, this story continues? I thought it was going to be an exclamation point. It was a comma. What was it that shocked you the most?
Well said. That's well said. It's nice because basically what you're saying is the sentence ain't over. So you can't put the end of the sentence like an exclamation point. It's like a continuation. Okay, so I'll kind of go off of that, but I'll take it a little different spin. That the NFC North officially is 0-3 in the playoffs. Like they didn't get a win with anybody.
I did not think about that.
Right? Like the Lions, remember how much we all made such a big deal, Theo, of that Lions-Vikings last game of the season? What that amounted to what? Nothing. Right? Like we all talked about, wow, this is going to be so interesting this year. NFC North, unreal, 3 to 4 teams that are all competing for the playoffs. Oh my God, AFC West, look at the coaches in that division, which is true, obviously.
Yeah.
And what's the division that is the hottest division right now?
The NFC East.
NFC East.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, as much as we talk about football, which we all do every day, nonstop, none of us actually know what's going to happen here, because at the end, the NFC title game is between two NFC East teams. If we were to do the power rankings of divisions before the season, NFC North or AFC West is number 1, or AFC North, actually, for that matter. AFC North doesn't have anybody either now that I think about it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. No
right?
Bengals.
I mean, think about that.
No Ravens. No Browns. Remember, because there was one host. I don't want to name any names. It could have been CCAT, could have been me, could have been you, Evan. One host that's here on the show right now that said the Browns were the one team that could dethrone the Chiefs and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't believe CCAT said that either. That was very odd.
No, I was the Bears.
No, but
Bears Super Bowl for me.
Can we do I'm an idiot with that. There's no question. I deserve to be crapped on nonstop.
CCAT picked the Bears. You picked the Browns. So you do have company, but keep going.
Well, I don't know if he's the company I want. Anyway, so if we were just to rewind, and we were going to do this conversation in July or August of 2024, and we were to rank what are going to be the best divisions in the sport this year, what would we say? NFC North.
That's number 1.
AFC North, AFC West would be the first 3 off the board, I would think. Am I right on that?
Yeah. You're saying like if we did this going on into next year or this past season?
No, I'm saying if we rewound the clock and we did this last summer,
number 1 was AFC North. AFC North was number 1 by far, because you had 3 teams in there that you knew were going to make the playoffs, in the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Bengals.
Okay. What would be 2 and 3?
That's where it gets testy. It depends on how much faith you had in the Broncos and Chargers with their new head coaches. I would say maybe the AFC West is up there. Am I missing somebody?
I don't think the West would be up there. I really don't think. The Broncos had to prove it, and they had no indication that they would do anything this year.
CCAT, wait a minute. CCAT, on our show before the season,
was the AFC
we all
East.
picked, obviously, the Chiefs to win. I picked the Chargers to go to the playoffs. CC picked the Broncos to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So on our show, we had 3 AFC West teams combined in the playoffs. We talked about that. The point is, NFC East would have probably been more in line with the NFC South and AFC South than it would have been as the best division in the sport.
True. Because you had 2 teams that nobody saw getting anything more than – I think the Commanders' win total was 7.5, and most people thought that was high coming into the year. And people thought the Cowboys could have a good regular season maybe, but nobody fancies them as a contender for real. And it was just the Eagles. Right. So you're right. I think
That's right.
I think that they were the biggest surprise this year, and a lot of it had to do with one man. That's why we talk all this MVP talk with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Jaden Daniels don't get enough love in that conversation. He doesn't.
No, you don't. You don't want me to get started.
He doesn't. Are you pro or against that?
No. When we talk about underappreciated MVPs, there is something that drives me absolutely insane. The fact that every week we're all taking the temperature of who's the MVP. Is it Josh Allen, who deserves it? Is it Lamar Jackson, who deserves it? Is it Saquon Barkley? Oh, Jaden Daniels underappreciated. He is. There is a guy named Patrick Mahomes.
Thank you.
Who, for some reason, is never talked about for the MVP because his season doesn't look as good as his previous season. Guess what? They were 15-2, 15-1 in games he played in. They were better this year record-wise than they had been in years past. And because his individual numbers didn't look as good as his previous individual numbers, which is not a competition against yourself for the MVP award, is infuriating. This man should be awarded the MVP every damn year until he dies.
Thank you. And you know what, Evan? What I'm sick of.
And that was the same for Brady, too.
Okay, well, that's. I think that's where I'll back up. But, you're right. You're right. And, Evan, here's the one thing I'll give you, and maybe you can fill in the gap for me here. How is it that the Chiefs go 15-1 in games they played? Obviously, the last one was a loss as well. 15-1. Andy Reid is getting no Coach of the Year consideration. Patrick Mahomes gets no MVP consideration, and yet and still, everybody keeps telling me that the Bills and the Ravens and the Lions were better teams than the Chiefs this year. So who do we give the credit to? Was it Joe Thuney? I don't understand it.
Well, Joe Thuney does deserve credit, but that's not where I'd go on that.
Yeah.
Joe Thuney's. I'm glad you brought up Joe Thuney.
He's all pro. He's all pro.
Lineman.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's also a Patriot first. Anyway, so he has one of the great careers you'll see. I believe he has 3 or 4 Super Bowl wins already. And when the 30 for 30 is done, which I think it should be, on the 2019 AFC Championship game between New England and Kansas City, the most obvious passing of the torch game that has maybe ever existed in sports. New England won that game in overtime. To me, it was the last night of the Patriots dynasty, and they won the Super Bowl the next week, and Brady played the next year. But that night, that win was the last great game anyone could remember in New England, even though they won the Super Bowl the week after, 2 weeks after, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
That was the ultimate passing of the torch. There has never been a game, to my knowledge, in sports that was more of a passing of the torch game, that 2019 AFC Championship game. Joe Thuney is the guy that was on both of those teams over the last decade plus, right?
Wow.
He's a phenomenal player. But no, I don't think Joe Thuney Chris Jones deserves credit on the defensive line as well. But this is what happens. It's like sometimes we all, and I've been accused of this with a lot of things, we get too cute. It's like, oh, let's look for an MVP. Well, Jokic won it 3 times. We got to give it to Shea. Well, Shea deserves it, but Jokic is the best player on the planet by far. Right, and it's not close.
Yeah.
Right, like Mahomes is the best quarterback on the planet by far, and it's not close. Mahomes doesn't need his job this year was to be disciplined, and I think that's harder than throwing touchdowns. And what I mean by that is to accept the fact here are the things we're not good at. We know you can be Superman, but it's probably better to see if these 3 things on the offense can get going. So when we're ready to start the season, which they'll start the season this week, the Chiefs' first game is this weekend. When they're ready to start the season, all those things will be ready to go. Like, oh, Kareem Hunt is going to be a good player for them.
Right.
Like, oh, Kelsey's back. Like, we start noticing him. Oh, like, look at some of these. Like, oh, yeah, D-Hop, here's how he's going to be working. Xavier Worthy knows how to take a handoff. Like, these are dumb things, but that's his job. He has graduated past having to throw touchdowns. His sole job is to guarantee they win 2 games a year, this week and in a few weeks.
The Mahomes Invitational this Sunday, along with the NFC Championship game. Cannot wait to see those two and how they play out. Evan, appreciate the time. It was a lot of fun, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That was Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 106.3 with Michelle Smallman and Chris Canty. He joined us on the Baptist Health Hotline. On the other side, we have the happy hour. Tina pulling up for some fun. She's got our cocktail of the day. She's got your last call, and I'll make sure she brings in a nice ice-cold Blue Moon for C-Cat to chug. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you could drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
The Cleveland Orchestra in Miami. Join the Cleveland Orchestra alongside members of the New World Symphony at the Adrian Arst Center for a fiery program of music conducted by Stefan Deneuve. January 31st and February 1st at the Adrian Arst Center. Tickets at arstcenter.org.
The 12-team college football playoff comes to a close, and schools are making out like bandits. Mike Rizzo here from Russo and Rizzo with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. NIL, name, image, and likeness, has been a topic of controversy in collegiate sports for the last few years. The Ohio State Buckeyes, who just won the national championship, reportedly spent over $20 million on their roster. Not only does NIL give these universities a strategic advantage on the field or court, it also gives them an advantage on the money side for their bottom line. Donors are lining up far and wide with ties to the university to see their teams win. This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management Program.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, The lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com. pbhnphysiciangroup.com to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Now at DQ Grill & Chill, enjoy $7 meal deals. The 3-piece chicken strip meal deal and the original cheeseburger meal deal. Both come with fries, a 21-ounce drink, and a sundae. Sweeten the deal and upgrade to a small Blizzard treat for just $2 extra. Get more for less at DQ Grill & Chill with the $7 chicken strip meal deal and $7 original cheeseburger meal deal. DQ Grill & Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's the happy hour. It is the happy hour here, theoretically speaking. I don't care how damn gloomy it looks outside. It's the happy hour in these buildings. Or at least this one, not these buildings, this studio. C-Cat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. He has his cap on and his Hawaiian shirt rocking.
Yeah. Got big news, too.
Oh, he's got big news. Tina, Espresso Martina, is in the house as well. You have your cocktail of the day?
I always have my cocktail of the day.
What are we sipping on this happy hour? Before he announces his big news, it's hard to hear big news with no drink in your hand.
So you mentioned it is a bit gloomy today here in downtown West Palm. So I looked up kind of like a rainy, gloomy cocktail.
Okay.
And I went with a Manhattan. Whiskey, sweet vermouth, bitters, and then garnish with a brandy cherry.
Yes. I love a Manhattan. I love a good Manhattan. I'll never forget my first Manhattan. I had it at a speakeasy in Houston, probably about five years ago. So during the pandemic, like on the latter end when you could go to speakeasies. And they called it, I forget the name of the speakeasy, but it was like this big blue door. You wouldn't know it was a bar because, speakeasy.
Yes. I'm following.
Yeah.
But here's the thing I'll say.
That's a good clarification.
Here's the thing I'll say. You're right. There's a lot of speakeasies these days that you can clearly, it's like a.
Just because the bartender has a handlebar mustache does not mean it's a speakeasy.
It'll say speakeasy in big bright words on the door. And I'm like, okay, this one actually is like you have to know it's there to know it's there. So pull up in there going, nice dimly lit cool bar. And I pulled up the menu and that was the only thing I could kind of like really pronounce confidently. I was like on a pseudo date. I didn't want to look stupid. I'm like, I'll take the Manhattan. Kind of want to order it quick. Didn't know what the hell I was about to get. And I loved it. I'm an old fashioned guy. So Manhattan is kind of like a sweeter, more chill, old fashioned.
I've never had one. It just seems too strong for me.
It's not that small because the sweet vermouth kind of cuts the liquor. Or old fashions are strong. Like, do you like old fashions?
No.
Okay. It's a much more relaxed, smoother style of an old fashioned.
Huh. All right.
The sweet vermouth, though it does have an alcohol content to it, is very low and it cuts it a bit. And I think what else? You have some bitters on there.
Yes.
Those are nice, nice flavorful. Gives it a little robust taste.
I went on a date once and the guy ordered like a martini, just straight martini. And I was like, oh, wow, like this is a mature drink.
Right.
And I would think the same with like a Manhattan.
Come on, when I pulled up with the Manhattan, I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
You know I won some points that day.
Nice.
Cool guy. I look
I was like,
cool.
oh, okay.
Can I I'll take the Manhattan.
I ate the cherries in the Manhattan, right?
Yes. Brandy cherry.
My girlfriend ordered a Manhattan a couple, maybe months ago, I guess now. And I had the cherry at the end. It was tasty.
You should. You don't eat it first. That would be weird.
Well, I'm saying like it was her drink.
Oh, you just had the cherry and that was it.
Like you can have it and enjoy it. I just want the garnish.
When the cherry is soaking in it too for a little bit. I love that on an old fashioned. Eating the cherry after an old fashioned if they pop on the nose.
A garnish can really just like make a cocktail.
Oh.
Like it could be all pretty with the salt on the rim or the tahini or whatever, but sometimes just like however they do the garnish, it just perfect.
Boom.
Makes it.
Boom. C-Cat, you got big news today.
I do. And I haven't told Theo this yet.
Oh.
I haven't told Tina this yet. I haven't told.
His grin is so big right now that it scares me, actually.
I'm a bad liar. All right. So not being able to tell this once it was known to me and once this was known to the people very, very close to me. My parents don't know about this yet. Like my grandparents don't know about this yet. Only 2 people know about this until right now. And I'm going to share it with Theo, Tina, and all the fans of ESPN 106.3.
That doesn't seem
ESPN
very intimate.
West Palm. But you know what? If you're going to do something, do it big. So after dinner last night, me and my girlfriend had a wonderful time. And we've come to the conclusion, after seeing how successful the relationship of the host of the show is, Theo Dorsey, and his wife, that we two are going to be getting plants.
Yes.
Oh!
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what? I knew you had it in you.
I would have not expected that.
I knew you had it in you. You have the right appearance of a plant dad. I can see you rocking a plant dad hat.
The thing is, there is just a chasm in the apartment when the Christmas tree gets taken down.
Come on.
We have a corner that is specifically designed for the Christmas tree, and it's so empty without it. And we need a plant there.
Yeah.
So I came to you.
What are you thinking?
I have no knowledge of this. I don't know anything. I'm clueless when I walk through a florist or whatever the name of the arbiter.
Yeah.
Arborist. You know.
Arsonist.
So I have 2 things. My friend texted me the other day, or it was probably like a week ago, I would say, and she took down her Christmas tree, and she goes, what can go here now? I have no idea what could go here. And she went with the plant as well.
Yeah.
She gave me a few options. I was like, I think a plant would be best there. Then second, C-Cat, are you going to name your plants like Theo does?
No.
No?
Because it's
no
going to
names?
die. So you can't,
You named a dog. You named multiple dogs. You gave them your favorite boy names that you would name your son.
Yeah. Well, that was short-sighted of me. I'm going to learn from my mistake. Because honestly, my dogs might kill the plant. So you don't want to, give it a name and humanize it.
So you're just going to go by whatever kind of plant it is?
Yes.
Okay. I love that Teddy names his plants, and they're celeb names.
Yeah, so my wife named them. I want to make that clear too. When I was I'm a plant guy, and my wife comes on board, and she's living with me and whatnot, and she's just felt the urge.
I love
it's like
it.
a womanly urge, I think, to be like, we must name them.
Is that a female
I
thing?
don't know.
Because
No.
I asked, because I've named all
Maybe
my
it is.
cars.
You don't know that.
I've named every car I've had.
Yes.
Like my car right now is Sally the Sonata. Like I had my car, like I've had names for all my cars.
Yes.
And someone was like, that is not normal. I go, are you sure?
Well, if it is,
But I was like, is that
have
more
those
of a
qualities
female
too.
thing?
Oh, so you name everything as well.
Okay, so it's
yeah?
not.
No, yeah. My first car was called the Catmobile. Simply because
That's different though.
the guy replaced the Ford logo with a Batman symbol.
Yeah.
So it was like, that's a simple, easy Catmobile.
So you named your car after yourself.
I also named my robot vacuum. So I thought that was cool.
What did you name it?
No plants are getting names,
What
but
did you name
everything
it?
else in C-Cat's home is.
Hammerhead.
Oh, because it bumps against things?
No, because it's a shark. Like the vacuum.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of badass. Hammerhead has completed his mission. Like I get those notifications on my phone every morning at 8:15 a.m.
I can't stand this guy.
In my house, our robot vacuum is called Chum Bucket.
Do the robot vacuums work for y'all?
Honestly, they work for about a couple months, and then
Mine
with dog hair, it's bad.
Yeah, dog hair is
I
bad.
don't have dogs. So.
That has to be going on. Like you need multiple robot
Robots?
vacuums to when you have pets because there's just hair. You touch them, hair falls. They shake, hair falls.
What?
They walk, hair falls.
So I ask again, why the hell do people have pets?
Because pets are amazing.
It's a companion. You don't know the
it's
love that
amazing.
we know.
Yeah. It is so great to just walk in your house and like they just are so excited to see you and their tails wagging and then they just like they want to
My
cuddle.
wife does the same thing.
They want to cuddle on you and just like sometimes I go home and like it's like my dog knows I need a hug and that my dog just is like there to like cuddle. Like they just know that like I need this right now. And it's just like a love like no other.
Yeah,
and you will
I'm
experience it. Yes, you're in love with your wife and I'm obsessed with that. I love that. But when you have a pet, it's a different type of love, and like you won't understand until you have a pet.
Spend a lot of money when you got to go on a town. We go out of town a lot, so I can't do a dog. I cannot do a dog.
And that's smart.
Yeah.
That you don't want to get a pet because you like to travel and whatnot. And when you have a pet, you have to it's finding someone to take care of it. It's either like boarding it somewhere or figuring that out, which could cost you money and also a lot of planning.
And then I got to pick up hair all the time too. Like
you got to take it outside to go potty or let
I'm not doing like
whatever.
twice a day. I got to take you outside.
More than twice. It goes
Really?
to the bathroom more than twice a day. It probably should.
I thought you had to walk dogs in the morning and the evening.
You probably should more. They probably like to
More?
go outside
How do
more.
people even do that? If you work a 9 to 5, how are you walking your dog more than 2 times a day?
Right when you get home, and then after they eat dinner.
See, that's ridiculous. So you tell me I got to
And
take
before you
you
go to bed?
outside 3 times a day. I have to pay for your stay when I'm leaving home. So I'm spending money on my travel and on your dog care. I got to get you groomed. I got to get you shots. I got to pay for surgeries for you. This is a kid.
It is a kid.
This is a kid. It's costing me kid money, and it's not really giving me whole, kid benefits.
There's benefits to pets.
A dog's cuddle, second to none.
You have a girlfriend.
Yeah. And we've long discussed on these airwaves who I'm not a bedtime, I don't like the contact. I like to go into my corner and curl up. But my dog on
Always
the couch,
welcome.
yes, I use her as a pillow, Charlie. Hunter, he licks too much, so I just can't really invite that contact as much. He gives it to him on his own, but Charlie just takes it and accepts it, and she loves it. You just rest her head right on her rump.
We got off the topic of plants.
I don't like this.
Congrats, CCAT, on
I can't even congratulate you on your plant anymore.
So I've got like a 6x6 area that needs to be filled up, and it needs to be filled up by a plant.
Yes. Okay, 6x6 area.
Ceiling's about maybe.
The question is, so I got to see what the lighting situation is like there too. Like, is it near a window? How much natural sunlight does it get?
It's not. It's in the same room of a sliding glass door, but it's not.
It's not close to it.
Not close to it. It's on the opposite corner of it.
All right, so you're going to need something that can survive in low light, unless you leave your apartment lights on all day. But you wouldn't leave it on at night.
What's your opinion on cactuses?
I love good succulents.
I probably should know this because it's a cacti. So what are your opinion on cacti?
Yeah, cacti. I just got back from Arizona, actually, where my mom just moved, and I told her I'm in love now with succulents, with cacti. I wanted to go to this botanical garden out there, didn't get a chance to go. I'm thinking about getting some out here in Florida as well. The ambiance of a cat, it's just different, man. It hits a little different.
Are they a hazard? Like, what if you trip and fall, and all of a sudden you have a cactus in your
Maybe a
hand?
hazard for pets. Like, what if his pet
Maybe
tries,
it's
yeah.
but they'll learn. They're dogs.
They play. They fight a little bit. So if someone slides into it and then it falls on,
What if a tail wagging? Like, it's
It's not like that. It's not that crazy, especially depending on the cactus you get. Like, you can actually, I've rubbed the bristles of cactus before and been cool. You know what I'm saying?
I
Depends
guess.
on-
But I need a big one. Like, it needs to.
Those things are expensive too, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, it's not cheap to get. Like, you would think it's not cheap. They are easier to take care of. Your biggest mistake would be overwatering it or not letting it be in a spot that gets enough sunlight. I think you would be fine probably in that living room area to get a big cactus, but it's not going to be cheap. You're probably going to pay if you want one that's tall enough to suffice, it's going to be like over $100, like $150.
Okay, and how long is this going to last?
It'll last for a long, long time. It might outlast you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the other options?
So you can name it.
Like, are ferns indoor?
A birds of paradise would be good. It is big, leafy. I wish we had an example nearby. How about this? We'll have a plant conversation when I have some picture examples at the very least, so our YouTube stream, our Prize Picks YouTube stream, could at least look at them.
Fair enough. But the decision's been made. A plant is entering the cat household, and this is not a decision that was made with haste. A lot of thought went into it, and like I said, me and my girlfriend look at Theo and Ashley as a model couple.
Yeah, thank you.
And we said, you know what? They're doing that right. We're going to follow their footsteps and get a plant.
This guy right here. He knows exactly what to do. How many plants do you have, Tina?
0. I have some fake plants in my room.
Can't do the fake plants.
They're going to die.
What about the bug situation? Do they attract bugs?
No, so I've had once or twice that happen. If a plant does start attracting bugs, you can either get yourself some neem oil or sit it outside, spray it with neem oil, let it sit out there for a while. It depends on the plant, to be honest with you.
All right.
Because some of them are going to attract what they call these white flies and these spider mites and stuff. Some of them do. But you'll be able to tell like pretty soon on, 2-3 weeks in, and you can get it treated. It won't be a problem.
All right, good.
All right, moving on from our plant talk. That was huge, though. I'm super excited for hearing that. I do want to say this. We have 4 coach openings still remaining in the NFL. 3 have been locked up. When you talk about Ben Johnson to the Bears, Aaron Glenn to the Jets, Mike Vrabel to the Patriots. The 4 openings right now still out looking for guys, hoping they can get a leader of their franchise, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the New Orleans Saints, and somehow, some way, the Dallas Cowboys. I give you my thoughts on which one of those 4 jobs are the most attractive. But first, I tell you about Duffy Sports Grill. You want to talk about attractive? You want to talk about an environment that uplifts you? Duffy Sports Grill. Duffy'sMVP.com. You walk right in, 80 or more televisions at every single location. 80 or more. You're looking around. You're looking at what screen is on which. You can position yourself in a good place where you have a good eyesight of about 10 to 12 different ones. And then have your way. Have your way. Ask the waitress or waiter, hey, can you turn that to this? And then I want to watch some football here, some basketball, some hockey, some badminton. Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it.
Badminton.
I know if you were trying to do like a goat thing or whatever.
No, I wasn't. It just was.
Okay.
I used to say bagminton until like last week.
Oh, okay.
So.
Good job.
At Duffy's, not only is the game always on, the TVs are always on as well, and they have the 2-for-1 drinks all day, every single day. Football season, they introduced their new features in their starting lineup. You're talking about house-made fried pickles, smoked fish dip, gridiron nachos, crispy fried green beans. I'm hungry. I'm hungry right now, too. How about some loaded and barbecue pig skins? That sounds good to me. Duffy's Sports Grill, Duffy'sMVP.com. At Duffy's, our game is always on. The Raiders, the Jaguars, the Saints, and the Cowboys. Those openings still available right now. There's several different quarterback situations. There's different divisions and whatnot. A lot to be considered when it comes to being the next leader of those franchises. Earlier in the show, Tina, we talked about myself getting a head coaching job. We're really close with Mike Tannenbaum. He obviously picks head coaches for the Jets.
Yeah.
He could give us good recommendation places. I was trying to figure out what my staff would look like if I did get a head coaching job. C-Cat, I was going to make him the long snapper specialist, just to make sure my long snapper is good. I did get a recommendation, though, on Twitter that he could be the get-back guy on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. You know what the get-back guy is in football?
No. Oh, like get back? Like
the get-back guy.
Yeah, don't cross the line, all
yes,
that stuff?
He's the guy keeping me out of, keeping me in the coach's box, keeping me out from getting a penalty or anything.
Would you need that? Would you be that animated as a head coach?
Yeah.
You'd be the Dan Hurley of the NFL?
No. Absolutely not.
That's who you're aligning yourself with.
I feel like C-Cat needs the role of those who use hate as motivation. Those who use negativity as motivation.
That would be a good
C-Cat. C-Cat being you suck today.
Yeah.
You are doing terrible right now. And they go and get crazy and they do amazing. C-Cat needs that role. It's a way a motivator.
Yeah, you motivate by anything can motivate you. Negativity.
Nice. I'm glad my reputation is stretching far and wide. C-Cat, you'd be good at hating.
Yeah.
At being a good hateful person.
You have admitted you humble people.
You're a hater.
Yeah. It's okay.
Fine.
Some people need that. And that motivates them.
I guess so.
Would you rather be that or hold Theo back?
I would rather be maybe a statistician.
A statistician?
No, statistician.
Statistician.
What is that long word?
Hold on a second, man. Hold on. What the hell you?
First of all, you're throwing too many big words at me.
How you talking?
Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect.
Absolutely.
Watch your mouth.
All right, so statistician. That's both a strategist and a statistician.
Did you make that up?
Yeah, I actually.
I don't think it is a real
I was
thing.
thinking of strategist. That's where I was thinking.
You want to be a
of.
strategist?
Yes. Strategist.
Sound it out.
I would practice the art of strategy. That's what I would do, and I would talk reason into your NFL football team.
But the strategy of what?
All right, listen. Some of the things they did in Bounty Gate were bad, but some of them were pretty good. Yeah. Hit a quarterback early and often. You accept those 15-yard penalties. That's okay. You put the football from the 20-yard line to the 35 in the first quarter. What's that going to do? You take out a quarterback's ankle. Now we're talking. That affects the entire game. That's what I'm saying. Bounty Gate, not the worst idea in the world. They just were a little bit too ambitious about it.
Well, they were too loud about it. They got caught.
Mm-hmm.
They got caught doing
Paper
all
trail.
that. Yeah. Speaking of, I think Dennis Allen is the leading candidate to be the DC for the Chicago Bears. If the Bears get Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen, I really do believe that team, they're going to have the biggest turnaround next year. They had 5 wins this year. I could see them winning like 12 games next year in that division.
See, I know, and if you haven't watched the first hour of the show, Evan Cohen joined and he broke down why Aaron Glenn, who just got hired by the Jets, were the Jets' first choice. Yeah. And that was a natural fit from all of this lineage and Mike Tannenbaum this and coordinator that. It makes sense in that aspect, but I would have liked to see the Jets go after an offensive guy. You saw the Bears go from defensive Eberflus to offensive Ben Johnson. I don't know. Rob Saleh was probably as good as a get when they did hire him from the 49ers defensive coordinator to Jets head coach. I thought he was a great candidate, and it's a bad location. I don't think a defensive head coach is going to work with Rodgers and the Jets going forward.
It depends on who he gets as his play caller. It depends on who he gets like in the offensive side of things. I haven't seen any reports on that yet. I'm not too out on this. I think what matters more than any of that is who's going to be playing quarterback for the Jets. And Aaron Rodgers deciding to return might hold them back more than any other thing around that. I don't think a defensive head coach is going to hurt them. Jalen in the Prize Picks YouTube chat saying he can't wait for the Bears to be 5-12 again next year. Bookmark it. I mean, there's no way.
It can't happen twice.
They haven't had a winning season since 2018. They haven't had a top 15 offense since that same year. I know they haven't won a playoff game since 2010, exact same year as the New York Jets. It's in a huge drought. But, again, all right, I'm doubling down. I'm buying back in. The stock is low in Chicago, and damn it, call me a fool, call me a sucker. I'm right back in on the Bears train. They got their guy. They got Ben Johnson. That's who they wanted. He got his quarterback in Caleb Williams. He's with the franchise he really was angling to be with even last season. Remember, Ben Johnson was the belle of the ball last year. And last minute, he pulls out of the coaching carousel to stay with the Lions, and that coincided with the Bears' decision not to fire Matt Eberflus. He's where he wants to be. That franchise wants Ben Johnson. They've got everything they want. There's no more excuses. You can at least say that. There's no excuse for the Bears to not have a winning season and make the playoffs next year.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true.
And it's going to happen.
Got the quarterback, and I think everyone in Chicago has agreed that, okay, we lost a year of Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Still a good year.
There's plenty. Well, I mean, wasting
Solid
a year of
year.
a quarterback on that rookie contract.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
He's a
That
rookie.
we never capitalized on having the talent that we wanted, the fleece of the deal that we thought we had with him. Now it's time to buckle up and double down and say, now we really got to lean in on this guy and make it count when we're not paying him too much.
Think about this. The 2 quarterbacks that the Bears passed on to have Caleb Williams both already have 2 playoff wins. Both. Jaden Daniels, C.J. Stroud. That's kind of crazy.
Yes.
It's been 2 years. Back-to-back years. First year they were like, we're good on Stroud. We'll trade out. And technically it would have been maybe Bryce Young. People say, quote-unquote, whatever. Stroud could have been had at 1. They didn't take him. He has won a playoff game in each of his 2 seasons. This past year, the Bears had the first pick. They pick Caleb Williams over Jaden Daniels, who was the Heisman winner, who had the better senior campaign. But Caleb Williams was the generational product that everybody told him to be. And Jaden has already won 2 playoff games and counting this year. Like, Ryan Poles, though this is going to be on Ben Johnson and a lot of people, I think he's going to be GMing for his job this next year. And I think the Bears are going to make good on that. They're going to be an 11-12 win team. They'll be solid. That's good. They'll be better than the Packers.
You mentioned a couple other teams in that still have vacancies. The Jaguars job, I do not think is a bad job.
I do. I think there's a reason why people keep pulling out. Didn't you just see Liam Cohen, offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers? He turned down the Jaguars job.
Wrong fit. Didn't want to be up to the challenge, but I see a division that is winnable and a quarterback that can win you that division.
I think that tells you a lot more about how bad people think of the ownership and the GM and Trent Baalke. People do not want that Jaguars job. They have a quarterback that was supposed to be the future in Trevor Lawrence. People do not want that Jaguars job. That frightens me. Of these 4 jobs left, the Jags, the Raiders, the Cowboys,
the Saints,
and the Saints. Woo. I don't know, man. How about y'all tell me what's the most delectable job of the 4? Cowboys, Saints, Jags, Raiders. Which job should be the most coveted for coaching candidates right now in the NFL? You tell me. Because to be honest with you, I mean, we're talking lesser of 4 evils. It's bad. Those are bad. The South Florida Fair isn't bad, though. It's great, and it's open. 17 days of entertainment, including the Thrilling Royals spectacular show. We got live music. How about this? A new Ag Ventureland. Farm animals in the Kabuta Ag Zone, and, of course, rides, games, and delicious fair food. We actually we have a video coming out on Instagram soon of the great fair food CCAT and I took part in. We also have a video of him milking a cow.
I sure did.
Tina, you grew up in the country. How many people do you know that have milked a cow?
I don't know anyone that's milked a cow. I was in the country.
You can milk a cow at the South Florida Fair. Don't interrupt. I'm talking about the South Florida Fair. You did grow up in the country. You grew out west. I consider the Central Florida parts, the out west, that's the country.
Okay.
Thursdays are BOGO at the fair. One admission ticket gets you another ticket for free, and every food vendor is going to have a BOGO deal. And ride credits are half off on BOGO Thursdays. Tuesdays, I heard, are $2 Tuesdays.
Wait.
$2 Tuesdays.
$2?
$2 for rides, $2 for admission, and $2 for something else that I can't remember, but rule of threes. I'm pretty sure it's something else. It's not on the paper here. The South Florida Fair, it's open all the way through February 2nd in West Palm Beach. Go check it out. You didn't know about $2 Tuesdays?
That's incredible.
Me neither. I didn't know about it either, and now I'm hoping that the person that told me about $2 Tuesdays yesterday was not lying, because I just promoted, threw it out there.
Can I be on your coaching staff as like the hype woman, like the hype coach?
No.
It's not your decision. It's not your team, CCAT. This is why you're the hater.
No, this is all about, delegating.
You were given the get back position.
I'm saying no so that Theo doesn't have to say no to you. So I'm the bad guy. That's part of my job. Theo's the good guy. He's like, hey, I would if I could, but you heard him just say no. Thank you so much for expressing your interest. How about a hydration specialist? How does that sound, Tina?
I'll take it.
All right.
I just want to be on the team.
We have our new hydration specialist. That's CCAT. That's Tina. I'm Theo Dorsey. On the other side, midday midterms on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Good people, it's your boy Theo Dorsey. It's playoff time and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all playoffs long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Prize Picks is the best place to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code THEOD to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code THEOD and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
The South Florida Fair is open. Get ready for 17 days of entertainment, blending cutting-edge technology with old-fashioned excitement. Visit our Imagine the Future interactive exposition and discover how science fiction is a reality today.
Check all the activities online at southfloridafair.com or download the Fair app. Now through February 2nd in West Palm Beach.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Good people. It's Theo Dorsey. Spring training at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium is less than a month away. Mini plans are the best way to maximize your St. Louis Cardinals and Miami Marlins game day experiences. Packages start at just $75 and can be customized for the games that you want. Get access to premium games like Cardinals versus Yankees on March 9th or Marlins Red Sox on March 14th. Purchase your mini plans at the ticket office or visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com, to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Welcome into the Kaiser Sports Update. I'm Kate Chumsland. The Seahawks basketball squads were busy last week with games against Ave Maria and Florida Memorial. The women's team went 1-1, while the 15th ranked men's team dropped both games to the number 24 Bulldogs and the number 22 Lions. A packed upcoming week for all Kaiser athletics, highlighted by the start of the esports season with events against Loyola, SCAD Savannah, and Southeastern. The Seahawks esports team will specialize in 4 games throughout the season: Rocket League, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, League of Legends, and Overwatch 2. The culmination of the year will be the Sun Conference Championships in mid-March. Men's and women's tennis face off against the number 1 team in NCAA Division II, Barry University. The swimming and diving teams are up against Nova Southeastern and Barry as well, and the basketball teams travel to Miami Gardens on Saturday for St. Thomas. For more Kaiser Athletics scores and updates, head to KUSeahawks.com.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Now, I'm hesitant to play this game again because last time I was gifted the option between a civil rights leaders holiday.
Oh, gosh.
On midday midterms. I had to grade that, so I'm hesitant to queue up another game of midday midterms here on Theoretically Speaking, but hopefully the teacher's nicer this time, Tina.
I hope so too, but I give you this. You had some great reasoning as to why you graded yesterday an A-.
A-.
Yeah.
A-. I mean, also look at what happened at the Atlanta airport. That's if there's a place that is greatly people that frequent, for Martin Luther King Day, it's Atlanta or D.C. And the Atlanta airport was bad too. It's just the A- day. We'll get it next year.
Yes.
Shout
Let's hope
out,
the teacher's
shout out Dr.
nice.
King. Yeah, the teacher, you got to lock in, bro.
Sorry.
Sorry. You know what? The teachers at Kaiser University and at their golf coaching center, they're much better. Much better than the teacher here for midday midterms.
Mm-hmm.
Their middle name is locked in.
Yes. Paul locked in. Don't know his last name. I call him Coach Paul. So that's going to be the first issue. The second issue would be that my golf game does need some work like many people's does. And the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center is the perfect place to go to tune up your game. KaiserGolfCenter.com. KaiserGolfCenter.com. All right? This is a place that's won 22 national championships in several different programs. It is a place that breeds champions and winners. Kaiser University's flagship campus also has one of the most pristine golf coaching centers in the land. All right? Talk about a 2,000 square foot indoor facility. We're talking about driving range. Talking about a putting green. And why are you laughing, C-Cat?
Nothing. The music stopped.
It did stop.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know what don't stop? The coaching at Kaiser University's Golf Coaching Center. You want to get locked in there. You want to tune up your game, especially during season. The great thing about it, too, is on a dreary day like today, you go right inside to the 2,000 square foot indoor facility, and you can tune your game up on those 3 hitting bays with ball flight technology. KaiserGolfCenter.com. That's where you can lock in. Yeah, man, you're in charge of the music. See, he wants to be the get-back guy. He wants to be the time management guy.
The strategist.
Yeah, and he can't even handle the music guy.
Listen.
Can't strategize that the music was going to.
We got to play to my strengths. We got to play to my strengths here. That just isn't one of my strengths.
What? The music?
The music.
The music is your strength.
All right.
You have it. You can do this.
Thank
See,
you.
I'm the motivator.
We're going to start putting my music in the rejoins.
Yeah.
And you'll be very uncomfortable.
What is your music? What is
little punk rock.
Are you really listening to punk rock today?
Alt rock. Yeah.
You're not listening to alt rock today.
Yeah.
How
I feel
often
like
do
he
you
only
hop in the
listens to
car
rock.
and put on punk rock?
Yeah, I liked country music growing up until I worked in country music, and then I despised it.
Okay.
So now it's a whole lot of Neck Deep, The Story So Far, little Machine Gun Kelly and stuff.
Deep?
Neck Deep is good.
That's the name of a band?
Yeah,
or a
my
person?
Apple Music, Wrapped or whatever. Neck Deep was number 1. That's a band. Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. We should get him on the air.
We should definitely not.
Let's see what else we got here.
MGK is good. I give you that.
Blink-182 is kind of like the most mainstream.
Blink-182, I know about them.
Fallout Boy, of course.
I've heard about Fallout.
I jammed out the other day to Thanks for the Memories.
a good song.
That I think might be my new karaoke
Nirvana?
song.
Nirvana?
Oh, I thought you were saying that was who sang Thanks for the Memories.
No, I'm saying, is that a C-Cat special?
No, they're not in my playlist.
Led Zeppelin?
No.
AC/DC?
No, you're going more classic rock now.
Okay. The Beatles?
No.
You're going more
Okay.
backwards.
I don't know. I'm trying
I'm
to
thinking
relate
from
to my guy here.
years 2000 to now.
Green Day?
Lenny Kravitz?
I don't really like Green Day that much, but it's that kind of music. Yeah.
Metallica? That's hard rock.
You're going in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
Metallica's not the wrong direction.
He said 2000s to now.
NSYNC?
No, that's pop.
All right. Well, you can put some of your music in the rejoins. I'd love to hear some of your music, C-Cat. I'm sure the people would as well.
I get some Sabrina Carpenter, add yours in there.
Look at that. You got a little Tina action in there.
Up or
Oh, my
not.
bad. We
Oh.
both pushed the button at the same time. Music guy?
Music guy. You want to grade some stuff?
Yeah, I want to grade
Yeah.
things. I guess we could turn off Sabrina. She a little too freaky anyways. I thought she was like Disney. I thought she was chill.
Yeah, I didn't know she was. Or what did she do in Disney? What did Sabrina Carpenter do
think
to make
she-
her a Disney star?
I think she was just in some Disney shows. And then she was in the High School Musical, the most recent
They
show.
had a remake of it.
I actually don't know her from Disney Channel. I just know her from her music in the past year.
Slipknot.
No.
That's real.
Korn.
Yeah.
No.
All right, these are from Jalen in the YouTube chat, by the way.
Grade this for me. Dropping off somebody at the airport. Not
You know
picking
what?
up.
You know
dropping
what?
off.
Drop off? I'll give that a B+. Actually, you know what? I'll give that an A-. It's just a lost art. A drop-off at the airport is actually the move to do. You don't want to be pickup guy. Pickup guy is the worst. Pickup line is always long. It's always hard to find the spot. It's always hard to connect with them on where they are. It's the worst. Plus, I hate getting to an airport too early, and then you got to do the loop around thing on the pickup. That is the worst. Drop-off guy, you know exactly where you're going. You rush around the traffic, you park it, they get out, you give them a hug or a kiss goodbye, and you're gone. It's great. It's great. Pickup is drop-off is A-. Tina?
I would say an A as well. Drop-off's not bad at all.
Pickup sucks.
Yeah.
Picking up is awful because you got like the person who's in charge of making sure the cars aren't parked right out front.
Those are the worst.
You kind of see them in the rearview mirror. They're coming to your car next.
Yeah.
And you got to act like you're on the phone or doing something so they don't knock on your window and tell you to scram.
They're the worst. But I know they're just doing their job, but they're still the worst. You're the best and the worst at the same time.
All right, Theo, grade this for me. The Saints head coaching position opening.
Oh, let's see. All of these jobs that are open right now are a C right now, specifically the Saints, because I have no clue what the direction of that franchise is about to be. You're still stuck with Derek Carr for at least another year. You're in a division that is winnable. So you know what? I'll give it a C+ because the NFC South, you can at least step in there and say, hey, if I do what I'm supposed to do at the highest level, we can contend and actually win a playoff game, have a home playoff game. But that's set up in that roster. There's not a lot of things to glean hope out of. Tina, the city of New Orleans.
Tina and Theo, grade Championship Sunday. The matchups that we have been given because of the results on divisional weekend, it's Chiefs, Bills, it's Eagles, Commanders. Grade those matchups.
Chiefs, Bills, that's an A+, right? That's an A+. The only thing I don't like about this matchup is we didn't get it on the behalves of the quarterbacks. Mark Andrews punted it away. But having two of those teams, Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes at this stage is perfect. Commanders, Eagles, I think that's also an A+. I love the storyline part of the Commanders getting there with a rookie quarterback. It's a divisional matchup. And also the Eagles, they're a really good team. They've been there before. Saquon Barkley getting there makes it nice as well. 2 A+. Are you a fan of these matchups?
I'm giving it an overall B because why can't it be on Saturday?
Okay.
I'd just rather it on Saturday.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
No good answer for that, honestly.
Right?
Well, because they played on, a lot of teams played on Sunday, so why have less rest?
Yeah, it's the rest. It'll be the rest for sure. But would you prefer, for your viewing pleasure, would you prefer it be on a Saturday? Nothing else going on Saturday.
My bedtime isn't 9 o'clock on Saturday. That's what it is on Sunday.
What are we going to do on Saturday?
Saturday for me is a boat day going to the west coast of Florida.
Oh, okay.
Marco Island. The weather's probably not going to be very good, so maybe it won't be.
You driving the boat?
Softball season just ended, actually. Yeah.
Captain
The Mangos won the championship, by the way, in Marco Island, so shout out Uncle Todd, shortstop.
I don't know, John.
Yeah, my Uncle Todd's shortstop, championship-winning softball team. It's no big deal.
CCAT plays in it. CCAT plays in it sometimes when he visits.
Player coach.
Yeah.
Player coach?
Strategist.
What position?
First base.
First base. So the least athletic position.
Oh, you don't know how good I make everyone in that field look.
At first base?
Yes. Listen, pal. The amount of length I give them and I pick the ball out of the dirt, yes. You don't know enough about softball, my friend, to act like a first baseman does not make everybody else look good.
I'm just saying, it's the least athletic, you need the least amount of skill as a fielder. I mean, all you got to do is be able to catch the damn ball and keep your foot on the bag.
Theo, you're showing your ass right now. This is not good.
Give me something. Show me what's harder, center fielder or first base? Shortstop or first base?
It's not about that. It's about the flexibility and the hand-eye coordination you need to play first base. It's a little bit different.
What's the easiest position to play in softball? What's the easiest position?
Right field.
Okay, maybe outside of right field.
Probably
first
catcher.
base.
Catcher.
No, it's not.
Yes.
It's first base.
It's catcher because the catcher just stands 10 feet behind home plate and just lets the ball roll to their feet.
Nope. What is the easiest position to play in softball, and how the hell is it not first base? 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776.
You got guys with bad arm surgeries and are just like lobbing the ball over to you, bouncing it over. It takes a lot of work.
Oh, it takes a lot of work. I'm sure you have so much range on first base right there with them throwing the ball right at your glove. 888-760-3776. What is the toughest position to play in softball? Not baseball, softball, specifically in like an office league with other amateurs like CCAT does. as they put him at the easiest position for him to play. That's the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. Maybe you're right. I doubt it, but maybe you're right. You know, stretching and doing all that at first base as you're working your joints, maybe you can use some Baptist in your life. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to advance and provide orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. The easiest position to play in your company league's softball. Like, we're talking about not softball at the highest level, not in the College World Series, not in whatever the name of the professional softball league is, but I'm talking about, like, you're in the county, you signed up for a softball team, you ain't got a lot going on, you ain't got a lot of calf muscle, a lot of calf definition, so you walk up, they're like, hey, we're going to put you at first base. That's all I'm saying.
We got one caller. We got a couple callers.
Yeah.
Well, first we'll go to Glenn in Lake Worth.
Is that because Glenn agreed with you? Are you going to Glenn because you already screened the callers? You're like, oh, Glenn, you like it?
That's not true. We got Glenn in Lake Worth. He joins us live on Theoretically Speaking. Glenn, what is the most difficult position in amateur softball?
Easiest.
The team manager, getting commitments from people, getting people to reply to emails, texts, all that stuff. That's like pulling teeth. Unspoken hero.
That is the most difficult. You're right. That is the most difficult position because organizing a bunch of people that have a lot of other things on their plate, I can tell that would be hard. Now, what's the easiest position in the field for softball?
I cannot answer that. Thank you.
Oh, my gosh. He knows his first base. People are trying to make you feel better about yourself, C-Cat.
Yeah, we got one more caller.
All
We got
right.
Jalen, and he joins us live on Theoretically Speaking. He's a Prize Picks YouTube chat regular.
Yes, sir.
And he's live on the air.
Jalen, help me out. Help me out. You have the baseball acumen. Please let me know. First base is the easiest, right?
Well, Theo, I'm going to be honest with you, man. CK hit it on the head. Right field is the easiest in softball. It's the easiest position. It's not many guys or gals that are going to even put the ball out in right field to have the proper approach or the power to get it out in right field. If you're out in right field, you're standing there picking daisies. First base, you get a lot of action at first base, but it just depends on the skill level of your team. You know, if you got a team that you got an infield that can put the ball right on you, first base is pretty simple. All you got to do is protect yourself.
Yes.
But if you got a team with some jokers, now it gets a little bit more dangerous. You know, you got long hops, short hops, all types of things you got to deal with. But I wanted to call and just address C-Cat's subtle flex of his flexibility at first base. Are you a hot yoga guy, C-Cat? What's going on?
Listen, when we're going with the geriatric crew of Marco Island Retirement Community, I look like I am a hot yoga expert over there. That's what it looks like.
Hey, praise him out there.
All right, I caught that. I said, wow, flexibility.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it a little
That's
bit.
different.
I can put my ankle behind my head.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, get him out. Get him out.
Go back to the chat.
Jalen, appreciate the call, man. Appreciate you pulling up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Please keep your ankle in the proper places for the rest of this show. Don't ever want to see it up at your earlobe. That's Tina. That's C-Cat. He's really flexible. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking in the happy hour on ESPN 106.3.
Now at DQ Grill and Chill, enjoy $7 meal deals. The 3-piece chicken strip meal deal and the original cheeseburger meal deal. Both come with fries, a 21-ounce drink, and a sundae. Sweeten the deal and upgrade to a small Blizzard treat for just $2 extra. Get more for less at DQ Grill and Chill with the $7 chicken strip meal deal and $7 original cheeseburger meal deal. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The Cleveland Orchestra in Miami. Join the Cleveland Orchestra alongside members of the New World Symphony at the Adrian Arst Center for a fiery program of music conducted by Stefan Dunev. January 31st and February 1st at the Adrian Arst Center. Tickets at arstcenter.org.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
The all-new 2025 Land Rover Defender 130. Designed for adventure, built for luxury. With seating for up to 8 and power for any terrain, it's ready to take you further. Now with financing as low as 3.9% APR for 48 months. That's just $22.53 a month per $1,000 financed. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today or go to LandRoverPalmBeach.com to start your adventure in the 2025 Defender 130.
Time now for the last call with Tina. Jalen says in the Prize Picks YouTube chat that C-Cat watched the Ravens-Bills game with his ankles behind his ears. That's why y'all lost.
No, my tail tucked between my legs. That's how I watched that game.
Same way the Bills play offense. By the way, Prize Picks is presenting our last call for Tina today. Prize Picks is the #1 America's daily fantasy sports app. More than 10 million users, more and billions of dollars awarded in winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. All you do is pick more or less on player stat projections, and you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. We're gearing up. We're gearing up. We're almost out of football games this year. You don't want to miss out as playoff time continues in the championship weekend and the big game. Do you think Patrick Mahomes will have more than 1.5 passing touchdowns? Do you think Jaden Daniels will have more than 56.5 rushing yards? Hit more or less, build a lineup, and you can win money today. Again, up to 1,000 times your cash. Use promo code THEOD. That's promo code THEOD. You get $50 for free after you play a $5 lineup. The last call. Tina, what you got?
So we mentioned today it's very gloomy today in West Palm. You've even brought up plants.
Oh.
And I came up with this for the show. Fill in the blank, 3 words. A single gentle rain makes the grass blank, blank, blank.
Grow with pain.
No.
By the way, Trent Baalke was fired. We didn't get to that because C-Cat was telling us about his plant.
Grow with ease.
No.
All right, say it again.
A single gentle rain makes the grass.
Does it rhyme?
No.
It felt like it was going to rhyme the way you said it. You said it like rhythmically.
Got 20 seconds.
All right, say it one more time.
A single gentle rain makes the grass.
Grow the whole year?
3 words, no.
Grow wet and slippery.
No.
Grow and chop.
No.
All right, what is it?
Many shades greener.
Many shades greener. I would have never gotten
that.
No
one
would have gotten
that.
Go in love, go in peace. Go enjoy.
Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians